you see there are three types of creators, and two of them are quite frankly not going to make it. And I do not say this lightly. This is literally observations I've made from working with almost every type of creator on the spectrum, from creators with millions of subscribers down to creators with double digit, even single digit subscribers. And every single creator that I have seen that is successful in their field has one thing in common, and the creators who are not getting views, who haven't made it, has one of two things in common. Without further bullshit, let's just get right into it. The first type of creator, and the type of creator who honestly is probably not going to make it until they change their ways, is firstly the decorator. These are people who treat thumbnails or packaging as a whole like decoration. These are people that most likely just started out on YouTube, so they only have surface packaging knowledge at best. They probably just watched one video on how to start a YouTube channel and they started posting on YouTube. These are the type of people that believe that a good video automatically gets views, and oftentimes they do not invest time or money in their packaging at all, in their videos packaging. In essence, these people do not understand that one of the most important part of your video, in fact the most important part of your video after the video idea, is the packaging. Because as Mr. Beast used to say, if they do not click, they do not watch. So their good video never even gets seen, simply because they treat the thumbnails like packaging when they add the determinant that converts an impression to views. A lot of the times these people, they have solid content, they have solid ideas, but nobody sees them, nobody watches the videos, simply because the package isn't qualifying the click. The package is not good enough to get views. These type of people will die on the hill of the content speak for itself. Good videos get views. And this philosophy could not be more wrong in 2026, when you are literally competing against millions of channels. Every single niche you can think of, there are people there already. You have competitors. The only way to stand out on the homepage, the only way to pick the interest of your audience, is to attract their attention, make them feel something when they see your package. That's the only way they can click. And here is a few examples of this type of people. I actually saw this person on Twitter. He said, yeah, YouTube is much harder to grow on than X. 5 views across 5 videos. It's safe to say that I am no Mr. Beast. This makes sense until you see his videos, his packaging, and you are going to see that this is someone that is trying to be a YouTuber from what they have seen on the surface, which is neon colors, exaggerated faces, and bright stuff. And these things do not work for the exact niche that they are in. So of course the person is not going to get any views, simply because they are not using the right strategy that works for their specific use case. This type of thumbnails doesn't even work at all, even in the entertainment niche anymore, but it is much more optimized for the entertainment niche, and they are talking about business. That's not even the point. The point here is that this person doesn't even know that the problem with their video is not the video itself, but the packaging. No serious minded business person is going to click any of this simply because of the packaging. It just looks like low effort content. In fact, it looks like AI slop. And these are the type of things that prevents a video from getting views. And these type of creators never really make it on YouTube, simply because of this little mistake. Now let's move on to the next type of creators. These are much more experienced creators. In fact, a lot of the people that are probably watching this right now fall into this category, the type of people who understand content, but maybe they understand it a little bit too much. Let me explain. You see, these type of people treat the thumbnail like a miracle button. They treat the packaging like a miracle button, simply because they heard that if you change your packaging, it can increase your views, it can potentially increase your views. Every single time their video gets a low CTR, they instantly blame it on the thumbnail, they blame it on the packaging. Whereas in reality, it is not just the packaging, it is not just the thumbnail that affects the CTR. The video idea itself is a number one determinant in if you would get views. Imagine this: I make a video on this particular wristwatch, but no one is interested in the wristwatch. No matter how good the thumbnail is, no one is going to click on this video, simply because they are not interested in this wristwatch. Which is why idea is the biggest reason why your video gets clicked or not, why your video gets pushed or not. And these type of creators bounce between designers every 2 months. This is simply because they think the designer is not good, he's not getting as good results, when in reality sometimes the idea itself is flawed. This actually made me remember something that a top YouTube strategist, Sam Ocean, he is the lead YouTube strategist of 1 Billion Media, an agency that is one of the top agencies in the YouTube game. And he said, if you remember when we first met, I posed this question: if a video goes viral, how do you know it's the thumbnail or the video itself? The answer is that it's always because of the video. The video is what determines watch time more than the thumbnail. So if a video flops, it means there was likely something wrong with the idea. Yes, packaging is important. What this essentially is saying is that the idea comes first, then the packaging multiplies the idea. The packaging widens the amount of curiosity that the video idea itself is carrying. Imagine this: a package is a multiplier for the video. 1 million times 0 is still 0, simply because there is nothing to multiply on. But 1 million times 10 is 10 billion. 10, whatever the number is, basically. The point here is that while the packaging is extremely important and it is the lens in which the video would be viewed, it is what would spark the feeling of curiosity, interest, desire, or any other emotion that drives clicks. Even though the packaging is what drives that, the idea is the passenger that it is driving. And if the passenger is a bomb, the video is just not going to get any views. And then let's talk about what every single creator who has made it, every single six-figure creators literally making a living out of their content. This is literally what they are, what they do, and the qualities that they have. You see, these type of creators are balanced. They know the packaging is how the video is viewed, not the savior. You know, exactly as I have said before, the idea has to be worth multiplying before the multiplier matters. These type of creators invest in packaging because they understand what it actually does. I mean, every single six-figure creators that you've seen, they have designers that work full-time on their channel. In fact, some of them have multiple people, sometimes even departments, working on their videos packaging. And this is exactly what I do for my clients. I worry about the packaging 24/7 while they are focused on what they love, which is making content. I handle the packaging and make sure everything is right on that part. So if you want to work with me, there's going to be a link in the description as well as in the bio. Click that and I'm going to see you on the other side. So let's carry on. You see, these type of people invest in packaging because they understand what it actually does, which is multiply their videos. I mean, I've literally had a video go from 30,000 to 120,000 views simply by a change in packaging. But the only reason the change in packaging worked is because the idea itself was worth scaling in the first place. These people understand when the video itself is the problem and when the packaging is the problem, and hence why they are successful creators. And honestly, I do not blame anyone in the first two categories, simply because being a creator is hard. It is harder than you think, and a lot of the times, to be able to propel yourself higher in the fastest time possible, you have to delegate a lot of tasks to people that are professionals in that field, which is where I come in. I have experience working with multiple six-figure creators, so I know exactly how to maximize the video idea and get as much views as possible, which is pretty hard for a creator, especially when they are, recording, ideating the videos, scripting, all of that stuff, right? So it is best to delegate it to someone who does it professionally, full time, and knows exactly the best way in which the video should be packaged. So as I have said, there is going to be a link in the bio for serious creators who actually want to take their channel, their videos, and their packaging to the next level. So yeah, that's the end of the video. See ya.